Curfews, closures, a crackdown before this year's spring break even gets underway. Miami Beach is doubling down on a preemptive law and order approach to prevent the annual chaos and crime that has come with spring break, but not without some blowback. Mayor Stephen Miner is here today to get into a new plan for that recurring issue. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, Glenna.
Good to have you. So
the
commission is fully behind all kinds of things that we will talk about as a preemptive strike against spring break chaos. I'm wondering, as someone who has seen the law enforcement and the license plate readers on the causeways and the curfews, what exactly is different this year?
Well, we're taking a lot of measures that are proactive. Sometimes we've taken measures after we've had some of the issues during the month of March. Also this year, besides the license plate readers, the DUI checks, which, by the way, we haven't always done consistently, we're also implementing increased parking fees. For example, the two major weekends, we're increasing fees to $100 in our municipal parking garages in South Beach for non-residents. Also, we're restricting on-street parking. We're doubling our towing fees. We're restricting access to the beach after 6 p.m. We're restricting access to our garages at 6 p.m. So we are taking a significant amount of preemptive measures to make sure we control the crowds and make sure there's no violence.
So let's get into a couple of those in detail, because how do you take preemptive measures if nothing has happened yet? Are there constitutional questions there somehow?
Well, certainly we explore all those, and our legal attorneys have given us good legal advice. And by the way, what I've noticed has happened, and I was commissioner for 4 years before mayor, and you've seen the evolution. Because these problems happen every year, we've seen the buy-in, not only from our commission as a whole, which, by the way, in the past, we've seen some division. We passed these measures that I proposed unanimously. Our businesses, I'm not hearing anybody question these measures. And by the way, even the courts, we've won the last couple of judicial decisions in past years because there's a recognition that this is not a one-off. Miami Beach isn't just saying, oh my God, we have a problem. Yes, we have a problem, and we're going to fix it, and we have full buy-in.
So I guess I have, and we have here, been hearing a bit of blowback from businesses, because among the components is closing down the sidewalk cafes and closing liquor stores. And there really is, I think, in their view, a hit to businesses. One particular business owner actually has something on the agenda for one of the committees this week about a great big music festival, paid, huge A-listers that would bring something to the beach during the spring break weekends that would be sort of, I guess the idea was to displace and bring in something great. What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, that's for next year, 2025. So we're looking at it and exploring it, and that comes with some positives. And by the way, there are a lot of businesses and residents who are not in favor of that. So we'll explore that, but we're getting ahead of ourselves because that's 2025. I'm focused on 2024 right now and making sure everything goes well. I think
but there's planning to do.
Oh, that there is. And by the way, one of the
I know you can't see us, right? We can see you because of the Zoom transfer here, but I want to put up on our air, and I will describe it to you, a couple of flyers that were really easy to find online. And these are private promoters promoting Miami Beach Spring Break 2024 with the dates, March 4th to the 17th. Music, come on down. They've got all kinds of lists of music events that are going to be here. These are all private organizers that the city doesn't really control. And it's sort of my recollection that decades ago, it was the music promoters who brought down scores of people that the city just wasn't prepared for that kind of started what was this whole push and pull. How do you handle things outside the city purview?
Well, our police department is monitoring those social media sites. And by the way, some of I can't see what example specifically you're referring to, but I know a number of these that our police department has identified. Some of them are illegally being prepared, and they've shut them down already. So
what do you mean illegal? So a promoter in a club has legal issues?
Some of them do, yes.
And some are perfectly legal, though. I mean, music events, paid.
Sure. I mean,
promoted.
obviously,
Yeah.
we make a case-by-case determination on each of those, since I don't know which ones you're referring to. But yes, we make that case-by-case determination. And by the way, there's going to be a lot going on in our city. We're not shutting down our city, and we're going to have a lot of people here, and there's a lot of tourism, and we're going to be We're gonna have a robust March. Our hotel rates are extremely high. So yes, of course, we're gonna have things going on. But our goal and our mission, and really our mandate, is to make sure everyone is safe.
Yeah, of course. And I want you to know for the record that it's my job to challenge the narrative. And there is a lot here that is really interesting for people to get into because some of it has become quite controversial. The crime that has happened, in particular last year, murder happened last year. I mean, it just beyond the pale last year that had everybody looking for ways to just fix it. But my question to you is that the crime that happens here is not spring break type of travel crime. Most, according to some police sources, are people who are local who are coming to sort of start the trouble. And I wonder if the kind of market forces like the increased parking and towing rates, is that the kind of thing you're using to dissuade local troublemakers?
Well, yes. I mean, you're absolutely right. And that's exactly the point. Well, first of all, the crowds get unmanageable. It gets to a point where it's literally not safe for people when the crowds are as large as they've been. So some of this is to try to maintain and control the crowds. As many police officers as we have out there, when the crowds get unmanageable, it just becomes unsafe for everybody. I mean, you could have situations, and we've seen a little bit of this, where you almost have like stampede type issues. So yes, restricting access to non-residents, parking, and the things I just described earlier in our discussion, yes, it is trying to limit the issues that we're seeing.
What do you say to the critics who feel like it's just over policing, making a police state, and the elephant in the room is quasi-racial overtones? How do you handle that criticism?
Well, I listen to everybody. It's important to hear every voice, every point of view. But I don't see it that way at all. I actually look at it as we have a mandate. I actually believe it's a moral obligation for us to protect people. We had 2 black males who were shot and killed on our street on Ocean Drive last year. By the way, the issues that we see are confined to a few streets on a few handful of weekends. So we're a safe city. Obviously, we're always looking to strive to become even safer. That's my goal. But we're talking about a very limited area and a very few limited weekends. But yet there were people killed on our street. It is my obligation to protect those people. It pained me. I cannot tell you the hurt I felt when those incidents happened, because I feel in some ways that maybe there was something more I could have done as a commissioner at the time. Well, now I'm mayor, and I'm looking to take every step to make sure people are safe. I actually was looking into, and unfortunately I only had a few months since I became mayor, but I was actively exploring having perimeters where you'd have to go through some kind of metal detector to make sure the guns were off our street. That is not going to happen, although we're going to have some security checkpoints by the beaches. But we have to do everything we can to keep people safe. And if people criticize that, well, I'm sorry. And I've actually said, if you think we're doing too much, we're probably doing it just right.
Mayor Stephen Miner, it is great to have you on the program. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Glenna. Appreciate it.